All right, so the next problem here we're going to talk about is 3x squared plus 2x minus 5. And what you might notice here is that we have a term out front of the x squared that is not just 1. We have a 3 there. So we can still, we still want to find the zeros or the roots, if you want to call it that. You'll see it written both ways, so just to give you different terminology you're looking out for. Again, we start by doing this by setting equal to 0, and then we'll make our x. So if we multiply negative 5 and positive 3, that's going to be negative 15, and I want to add to 2. So if I think of the factors of 15, I've got 1 and 15, 3 and 5, and since I'm multiplying to add to a negative, or multiply to a negative rather, I need to actually have one positive, one negative. The ones that come to mind are 3 and 5, and precisely here, I'm going to need the 5 to be positive and the 3 to be negative. The reason being, because when you multiply these, you get negative 15, and then you still get that 2. 5 minus 3 is positive 2. But it's not as easy as this because we still have this weird 3 sitting out here. So in order to take care of that, what we actually have to do now is we have to write this out. So we're going to get x plus 5 and x minus 3. But we have another step here where we actually have to divide by that 3. 5/3 doesn't simplify nicely. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to take this 3 in the bottom. We're going to slide it over to that x. So my new thing here is 3x plus 5. And this 3 over 3 will simplify to just x minus 1. If I was to multiply this back out, I'd get 3x times x is 3x squared. 3x times negative 1 is negative 3x. 5 times x is 5x. So when you add those two, you get the 2x in the middle. And then 5 times negative 1 is negative 5. We do the same process here where we're going to set each of these equal to 0. We can solve, subtract 5, 3x equals minus 5, divided by 3. X equals negative 5/3, and add 1, x equals 1. So here are my two solutions for that problem. And these are about as tricky as it gets for these types of problems. Let's try one more like this. This next one is going to be 2x squared plus x minus 10. Same directions again, find the zeros, or if you want to call them roots. Start by setting it equal to 0. And then what we're going to do is do the x. So if you multiply here, negative 10 times 2, negative 20 goes on top, and 1 goes on bottom. We never write variables in the power x either. We only write numbers in the x. So negative 20 and 1.